The 2025 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards are here. On October 19th, we will see what almost 1 million people of the horror community deemed the best films, shows, games, and documentaries in the genre. Hosted by the legendary Barbara Crampton and Josh Rubin, the show will feature some amazing talent in horror from David Dastmalchian, the Boulay Brothers, to Ryan Coogler, and Dead Meat. In today's video, we're going to break down the categories and present our predictions, so come join us. What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. My name is AJ.
And I'm Christy.
And y'all, welcome to our prediction and our picks for the 2025 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. It's going to be a super massive award show this year. They got, I mean, you heard the guest at the top of the video. It's going to be epic in terms of the talent and the legends that will be presented on the Chainsaw Awards stage, on the online stage. So we're excited to go through the list and actually look at all these nominees. There's a lot of great categories, a lot of great nominees. I feel like this year is going to be real tough to kind of make the prediction and pick our picks. What do you think, babe? Do you think it's going to be a tough year?
I think it's going to be a tough year for sure. There's a lot of great movies, a lot of great talent. You know, some movies, some categories have actors from the same movies. So I think it's just going to be overall a really tough year for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be crazy, y'all. So it's going to be a fun video. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us as we go through our list. You know, go ahead and be checking off your predictions as well, because we want to hear down in the comments what you think for some of these categories. What's your predictions and your picks? So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the voting ballot. So if you're just listening on the podcast, I'm bringing up the actual voting ballots. Just like last year, Fangoria brought a cool little PDF one sheet that has each category with check boxes, so you can actually print this out and then score to see how on the money you are, essentially. So we'll be using that as our guide as we make our predictions, so you can follow along with that. We'll put a link to the PDF in the description of this video, as well as the podcast description as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. So we'll start right from the top on the first category on the voting ballot sheet. And it's the best wide release movie, y'all. So the nominees for best wide release movie this year are 28 Years Later, Bring Her Back, Final Destination Bloodlines, Heretic, Long Legs, Nosferatu, Sinners, Strange Darling, The Substance, and The Ugly Stepsister. Damn. That's
Stacked.
a lineup. It's stacked.
Well, off the rip, I feel like the only ones that are going to stand out, maybe top 3 wise, would be The Substance, Sinners, maybe possibly Long Legs or Final Destination, only because I feel like the conversations around these movies lasted the longest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when I say conversations, I mean the most talk about them as far as like longevity, how much money these movies made.
Mm-hmm.
Critic wise, their ratings are all 3 of those ratings are really high. So yeah, those are the only ones I think out of this pack that I think have legs. So I'm trying to obviously not include my bias in my
yeah,
pick.
That's the tough part. Yeah, so I almost feel like we got to make. I almost feel like we have to do 2 different picks, right? We got to say like what we think's going to win based off of just pure like objectiveness, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And then who we would like to win, because I feel like it's gonna be 2 different instances just based off our bias. Because for me, I'm thinking the two movies that are gonna be kind of like fighting for this best wide release is gonna be between Sinners and The Substance.
Yeah.
Now I know people love The Substance like crazy, so I'm almost feel like The Substance is going to win, even though I want Sinners to win. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see that happening. I honestly don't think anything is going to beat Sinners because of all the factors I just gave you.
Yeah.
The Substance definitely broke down some barriers when it was released, but nothing transcended in horror like Sinners. I don't care what nobody say. It just hasn't. Now,
I agree.
If there were other films in this category, I might say maybe possibly, but I don't think The Substance has enough foundation compared to Sinners to beat it. That's my personal opinion, obviously, based on what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking in terms of what I said earlier, right? So because of that, I think Sinners would win this category.
I want Sinners to win, but man, I remember now. See, Sinners has the kind of recency bias right now, because it came out this year. Sinners was at the end of at the end of last year, right? Yeah.
No. Sinners?
Sorry, The
Kingdom
Substance.
March. Oh, okay.
I meant The Substance. Sorry. I meant Sinners has a recency bias, but The Substance came out at the end of last year, right?
Yes.
And because of that, like, because I remember when Substance came out, like people were going crazy over that shit. Like
they did.
They were losing their mind.
Was it on the same level? I'm not even talking about just like individual people's reception of the movie. I'm talking about all the factors. I understand. But was it on the same level as Sinners, though?
I'm trying to remove my bias from it the best that I can. And I feel like
I'm just talking about your memory.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way because I clearly remember us being like, it was okay, but people were like, this was like on people's number ones for the end of the top 10 in the year and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know because I feel like here's a question, right? Because we have seen those folks in the community that I don't think it's like a lot of them, but I've seen it where people were like, oh, Sinners isn't really horror, or Sinners isn't that good. And I don't really remember that conversation being had around The Substance. Not that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like people were just eating that shit up.
I get all that. I still think the winner for this is going to be Sinners.
Yeah, I hope so. I want Sinners to win, but I'm gonna make sure that I maintain a certain level so I don't get too hyped up. So then I get disappointed because I know that The Substance was such a big film for some people. And between those two movies, like on a like critic, like community level, I can't see anything else matching up to them, even though I think there's other films on this list that beat The Substance. Like I think The Ugly Stepsister is better than The Substance.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think Bring Her Back is better than The Substance. That's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, I know we don't, hold certain like Rotten Tomatoes, for example, as like a that much of an influence. But just so we are aware, critic-wise, Sinners is ahead of The Substance on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe it was like, look it up. I don't know. I know it's still in the 90s, and I know The Substance is not in the 90s. Also, they have more reviews on there than The Substance does. And I think there was a much wider like reception across the board for Sinners than The Substance was.
You said a much wider what now?
Reception.
Oh, reception.
It crossed over. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just horror fans who loved Sinners. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I thought that happened with The Substance too. It seemed like people, even outside of the horror, were. I don't know if that's more so because of like who was involved, like who's starring in it, like with Demi Moore and stuff like that. But I did pull up the Rotten Tomatoes. So The Substance has 372 reviews at 89% critic rating. Sinners has 412 reviews at 97%. So from a, I know Rotten Tomatoes isn't like the end all be all, but
it's not.
From a Rotten Tomatoes critic standpoint,
to start with, though.
Yeah, Sinners is hitting.
Now, obviously, Sinners has not gone through like an award season like The Substance has, but also looking at that, The Substance did well enough to where it did well during award season last year, at the beginning of the year. Also was like an Oscar nominee.
Yep,
that's great. But unfortunately, we can't use that as a gauge for Sinners because we haven't had that opportunity. But I feel as though they are, obviously, because it was so amazing. And I see potential for it to win in some categories as well. Whereas I think we all kind of were hoping that The Substance would do well during award season, but we also kind of knew we had to temper, like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was that strong enough of an entry to beat out some of those other nominations.
Yeah. And I also pulled up their Golden Globes nominations too, because they did win, or Demi Moore won Best Performance by Female Actor in a Motion Picture, because they were in the musical or comedy category. So she did win that. And then they had nominees in Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Motion Picture nominations as well. And then I think on the I think they had a similar amount of nominations in the Oscars as well. So
yeah, they did.
They definitely view it at the caliber of a great film, just like Sinners. But you know, like I said, I agree that Sinners, zeitgeist wise, was hidden, and I'm hoping that it can pull off the best wide release. I mean, you see, we got Sinners on our background anyway, so like you already know where we kind of stand on.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously, I'm between the two, but if I had to predict based on the information we had, the different criteria that I just gave you, I would say Sinners would win in this.
Hell yeah. But let's hope Sinners takes it for the best wide release. So let's go to now best limited release movie. So the nominees for best limited release movie are Azrael, Frankie Frico, Freaky Tales, Getaway, and Little Bites. Now I'll pass it over to you, babe, because I'm not.
Why are you passing it over?
I'm not familiar with all the films on the limited release list. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not. So but I know you probably are. So
only in talks because we've only actually watched 2 of these movies. So, but out of the movies that I have heard about, people talking about, I mean, there'll be little pockets, right? Because these are like smaller films. But I think Freaky Tales has been the one that's been most talked about, in my opinion. I haven't looked up any like ratings on these ones though, so I couldn't tell you how they all rate. Azrael, we watched this movie, but I don't think a lot of people liked that one. And I don't think the reviews were great on that either. It had Samara Weaving in it. I think she's a really great actress. So I'm surprised that one didn't do better than it did. It was a good movie.
Yeah, we did a reaction to that one on the channel, on our YouTube channel. We liked that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I would predict either. I've also heard a lot of people talk about Frankie Frico. So I would be between the two, Freaky Tales and Frankie Frico.
Yeah. So like you said, I've seen Freaky Tales. I thought that was a great film. Very surprised by how well done it was. And also the kind of range of genres that was within that film was super dope to see. And it was all so well executed. So I'd be super cool with Freaky Tales winning. I'm not familiar enough with the other films to really make a judgment call. So I'm not even going to really speak to it. But that's what we're thinking for best limited release movie. Now scroll down to the next category. We got best first feature. In that category, the nominees are Best Wishes to All, Blink Twice, Cannibal Mukbang, Mr. Crockett, and The Ugly Stepsister. Now, we've seen all of these except for Cannibal Mukbang, because you haven't seen that, right, Ben?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so we've seen the other 4 films, so we have a little bit more knowledge on this one. What are you thinking will be kind of the 2? You want me to go first? Yeah, sure. So here's what I'm thinking, honestly. I think for this category, the 2 that I think will be like going head to head are Best Wishes to All and The Ugly Stepsister. Now I'm making that call off of like my own, reviews, right? Because the Ugly Stepsister I thought was just an incredible film. Like the production value, the story, the special effects, the performances, it would just firing on all cylinders. And Best Wishes to All, I think, was doing the exact same thing. I thought it was weird and creepy, and the performances were great. I love the way it looked. And it was just a very unique experience with that film too. I felt like it came out of nowhere, because I feel like that was one of the ones where you were like, oh, we got to watch this one. And I'm like, I never even heard of this. And then I was like, oh, this shit is crazy. It's a good one. So to me, those are the 2 that'll go like head to head. But what do you think?
I think the winner for this one would probably be The Ugly Stepsister. It is one of those ones that came out of nowhere. And
it did.
Definitely a lot of discourse around this one as well, because it doesn't feel like a first time feature.
It doesn't
at all. And it was well acted. It looks amazing. I think it hit on, if not all, most of the cylinders when it comes to what horror fans like. Yeah. Like it has the nasty gore. It has
the gore was crazy.
Yeah, some really creepy moments. It was just really good. I think it looked, like I said, it looked amazing.
Yeah, very
Um,
artistic.
yeah, it was. I know, and I also like that idea of like taking a fairy tale and just like twisting it.
Hmm.
And it was very good, very well done. So I mean, my vote in this one would be The Ugly Stepsister. I do believe a lot of people did like Cannibal Mukbang, but I don't know how much because I haven't really uh paid attention to that. But I do know a lot of people didn't like Blink Twice.
Wow, that's actually surprising because I thought that movie was actually really good.
Yeah, I did too. But since this is in the hands of the people, I'm gonna go with The Ugly Stepsister.
That's true. It is in the hands of the people, so we got to go with what the people would think. Uh, and you saying that, you remind me that it's in the hands of the people makes me think that I know we already passed it, but now I think that Sinners will actually win. I'm reminding me, I'm like, wait a second, this is not like an Academy situation. Like,
Right, yeah, no.
this is community voted. Sinners is
Mhm.
gonna win this shit. But yeah, I think Ugly Stepsister, based off Community, will probably win this. It's not to say the other films are bad. I think Mr. Crockett and
Mm-mm.
Blink Twice are both good films,
Yeah.
but they are not batting at the same level as Best Wishes to All or The Ugly Stepsister. But yeah, Ugly Stepsister seems like the winner of this Best First Feature category. All right, next up we got Best Streaming Premiere, and the nominees for that are Best Wishes to All, Cannibal Mukbang, Gazer, Mr. Crockett, and There's a Zombie Outside. I'm not familiar with Gazer or There's a Zombie Outside. What do you know of those films, babe?
Nothing.
Okay.
I know nothing about those.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm not really sure because I feel like the discourse around Mr. Crockett was pretty high.
Yeah.
But again, so was Cannibal Mukbang. So I'm between the two of those. I haven't seen it, so I don't know how good it was. But I feel like the rating was pretty high on Cannibal Mukbang, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think when I looked it up earlier today, it was pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Critic, because Critic. Now there's not a lot of Rotten Tomatoes reviews on this.
Yeah.
I'd have to bring up the Letterboxd too, but I don't have that in front of me. But it's 93% for Cannibal Mukbang.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's only like 15 reviews though, so the pool there isn't very massive.
Okay. Well, I'll check Letterboxd, but I'm pretty sure it would be between those two.
And then Mr. Crockett, just for comparison, has 21 critic reviews at 67%, and then only over 100 audience ratings at 57%. So definitely not as good as Cannibal Mukbang.
Mm-hmm. Well, even though outside of that, I'm thinking between. It's so hard. I don't know.
So now I'm not familiar with the discourse around Best Wishes to All because this is one of those films where you just told me about it and we watched it and I loved it. Was the discourse not good around the movie? Do you remember what the discourse was like around that movie?
Well, honestly, only a handful of people I know even
have even
watched
seen
that movie. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But I'm not sure.
What country was that out of specifically? Was that Korean? I can't remember if that was Korean or Japanese.
I can definitely check. But I do not know. It looks like it might be Japanese.
Yeah, I think it's Japanese.
Yes, looking at the language here, the writing.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
It's Japanese, yeah.
It's Japanese release. Okay. I was going to look up the Rotten Tomatoes on that one too because I was just curious. It's got 31 critic reviews of 77%.
You said you loved it, but we did not review this movie very high. Are you sure you loved it?
I remember liking it. Are you sure it wasn't one of the situations where I liked it and then you didn't, so our average went down?
No, this is the one where they thought the happiness was you had to have someone in your house in order to be happy. That's that one.
Yeah, that was super weird, and I feel like I thought that one was pretty good.
Oh, okay. Well, we rated it 2.5. I don't know.
What I'm saying though is it one of the situations where like you were lower on it and I was higher on it?
I don't think so. I feel like that was one where you were like it was I think you may be misremembering or something because I feel like
Maybe
you
I'm
said it was
misremembering.
boring or slow or something.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I might be
I think you might.
misremembering then. Might
Either
just
way,
be remembering the good parts. I remember
I think you
liking
might
that
just
movie though.
remember the good parts or something. Because I remember
Yeah.
you being like, because you kept falling asleep, and
I was probably
remember.
tired. Yeah. Yeah, I was
Oh
probably
no, because you
tired.
said
That
like
happens a
fell
lot.
asleep.
I fall asleep on a lot of movies, but it's more so because I'm just so tired all the time. So
Yeah.
it's not so much because the movie's bad.
No, I'm not saying it was
I just
bad.
watched Red Rooms today, and I was falling asleep
Yeah.
on it, but I loved the movie. Now
Right.
I had to go back and rewind it a couple times because I fell asleep. I was like, oh, I missed something. I got to rewind it.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with the quality. It's just, hey, your boy be tired, be working. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna go with Mr. Crockett in this category. I think.
Okay. I feel like based off what you're saying about Cannibal Mukbang, again, I've read the description of that movie and it sounded like really interesting. And I read a couple reviews earlier and people really seem to like that a lot.
Okay,
Like
so
this,
between the two of those then.
yeah. So if I'm like trying to put money on it, I'm probably gonna go Cannibal Mukbang.
Cannibal Mukbang? Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
if I'm putting money on it. But we'll see.
Well, yeah.
All right. Next category we got is Best International Movie. The nominees for that are Cuckoo, Dangerous Animals, Oddity, Red Rooms, and The Ugly Stepsister.
Yikes.
Damn. This is a stacked category, y'all. Like I said, I just watched Red Rooms today before we got on this. So I've seen all of these films now, and I can say that all of these films are really good.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen Red Rooms, but I know I really like Oddity. I really like Dangerous Animals, and I really love The Ugly Stepsister. I also like Cuckoo. I thought that was a good movie too. But
I know people didn't want big on it though. We liked it, but I know people weren't really feeling it
because it's in the hands of the people. I'm going to go with The Ugly Stepsister again.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the right answer. Because again, I feel like Ugly Stepsister is just kind of batting at a different level than these other films, and it has that feeling of like, you know, when A24 comes out with that real auteur type movie, and it's just like everyone's just like, damn, this shit is like cinema, you know, even though it's a horror movie, it kind of has that vibe. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
it has that vibe to it. So I almost feel like it's gonna win by default here, even though these other films are all really great films. Even Dangerous Animals was such a big surprise because that's one of the ones we watched at the mystery movie. Remember we saw that on the mystery movie Monday, and we were like, "Oh shit, this is actually a fun movie. Like it's pretty good."
That's how we saw that.
That's how we saw it. Yeah, it was a mystery Monday movie, and surprise, this shit was actually decent. But I think I agree with you. Probably Ugly Stepsister. Community vote there. All right, next category we got is Best Series, and the nominees for that are The Creep Tapes, From, The Last of Us, Squid Game, and Yellow Jackets. Automatically, I'm going Squid Game. What you think?
Well, I didn't finish Squid Game. I didn't watch the last season of it. I haven't seen Yellow Jackets. I know you didn't like second season of Last of Us, so we didn't finish that.
That shit was dumb. Like, not interested because they should. Again, personal thoughts. They should have went a different direction in the games. I think it was a terrible. Because I think what they don't realize is we're talking about a TV series. This isn't a video game. This is a TV series. Why do people watch TV series? Because they get attached to characters and they want to keep watching these characters. If you kill off the main character, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sure they had still had him in there. He just wasn't alive. You know what I'm saying? Like he had, flashback moments.
No one wants to see flashbacks. People want to see progress. They want to see you know what I'm saying? So I think that was the worst decision they could have made because once that happened, boom, show tanked, viewership dropped, people didn't like it, and it wasn't even people who didn't play the game didn't like the show. Because you removed the best element of the first season, which was the dynamic between Joel and Ellie. So even people who didn't even play the games was like, oh, I love their chemistry. I love their dynamic. I love these characters. You know, I mean, spoilers, but I mean, everybody knows that thing. You're just picking out like the second episode. And now it's like, oh, my favorite part of the first season is now gone, and I don't want to watch this one character because now, she's just not as interesting because they were interesting together. So I don't know. But anyway, I ain't gonna keep talking on that. But
yeah,
I finished Squid Game. I know some people didn't like the finale. I will admit, I think the finale was not great, but the rest of that final season was fire. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, like I said, I've only seen a couple of these. So based on my limited knowledge, I would vote for From.
And so you think the community likes From enough to pick it, even though it should be slow and all that stuff? They're milking it.
People be invested in it. I mean, I know Squid Game was hard, but I literally you're the only person I know that watches Squid Game.
Everybody watch Squid Game.
I mean, I said the only person I know. You're the only person I know that watches Squid Game.
Okay.
And I personally don't really count it as a horror series, but I mean, I guess how you could,
it's a hot take.
It's a hot take.
Yeah, it's horror. Let me tell you something. I watched the third season. It's horror.
Well, I haven't watched that season, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Now, what about Yellow Jackets? That's the show we haven't seen.
A lot of people do love that one.
So that could win, right?
Yeah, I guess it could win as well. Yeah, because I definitely haven't seen that, but a lot of people do like that show for sure. Yeah, that's a highly recommended one too. I don't know. I'm stuck on this one.
Oh, my vote.
I haven't seen it.
My vote is between Squid Game and Yellow Jackets. That's my vote.
Okay. All right.
What's your vote? What's your final stamp on this? Boom.
I don't have one.
Man, come on. You got it. Just pick two. What you think?
I'll pick yours.
Okay. All right. Let's roll it in. All right. Next category, we got best nonfiction TV series or miniseries. So we had the Boulet Brothers Dragula, Horror's Greatest, The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, and was that Svengoolie? Svengoolie? I'm not familiar with any of this, so this is all you.
Well, I'm only familiar with a couple of them on my own. I know they have whole Twitter watch parties for The Last Drive-In, but I don't watch that.
No, we ain't watching that over here.
No. So, I mean, obviously, I love Boulet Brothers Dragula. Like, that's one of my favorite shows on Shudder. It's just so good. I love the Boulet brothers themselves. I personally like competition shows anyway. Like I just love those. I will watch the most random ass competition shows.
You will. That's great.
Because I love them. I love them so much. So obviously I would vote for that one as my pick, but I think a lot of people reverence and love The Last Drive-In.
Really?
So
okay.
I don't know. I think
so that might win it then. Okay. All right. So that's what we're thinking for that category. So let's go to the next column. Next series of categories. We got best documentary feature, and the nominees are Doc of Chucky, George A. Romero's Resident Evil, In Search of Darkness, 1990 to 1994, The J Horror Virus, and Susanna, the Queen of Black Magic. Who do you think will win for this documentary feature, Beth?
I have not seen The Queen of Black Magic. The J Horror Virus, it's actually a really good documentary. I didn't finish it because it's long, but not as long as Dr. Chucky. Let's be clear.
Dr. Chucky's on a different level.
4 hours long.
It's a beast.
4 hours.
It's a commitment.
It's a definite commitment. But the J Horror Virus, talks about obviously Japanese horror, how they tell their stories, and just all the different dynamics that goes into creating those movies. It's really, really good. I think you would love that one, actually, babe. You should definitely
check that one out. I gotta check that out then.
I have not seen George A. Romero's Resident Evil, but I do know people love them some George A. Romero.
Yep. That's
we did a post recently about zombies. You forgot George A. Romero's da da da. I'm like, no, we didn't forget it.
I didn't forget. Hey, look, it's my picks. I didn't forget. Remake.
But yeah, his work is iconic. So, In Search of Darkness, that's been going on for a while.
A while.
They put in a lot of effort into those documentaries.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was hard for me, actually. I'm trying to think of what everyone else would vote in this particular category.
I feel like there was buzz with Dr. Chucky. I feel like I saw discussions about it.
There was, but I'm
Yeah.
also wondering how many people actually watched all of
Finished
that.
it.
I mean, whew, it is super detailed. Like they go through everything, and
Yeah.
obviously you gotta really love the Chucky franchise
Yeah.
to be committed to that. I don't know in this particular case.
Okay.
I might go just off of like the content doc of Chucky or the Resident Evil one.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like those would be the two most beloved because of the content, the franchise that they deal with. I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're thinking for that, y'all. Best documentary feature. Next up, we're getting into the different performance categories, and these are going to be a lot of nominees in these categories. So be prepared for me to read off a ton of names for each category. So first up, we got Best Lead Performance, and the nominees are Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu, Willa Fitzgerald in Strange Darling, Sally Hawkins in Bring Her Back, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, Micah Monroe in Longlegs, Demi Moore in The Substance, Leia Mirren in The Ugly Stepsister, Hunter Schafer in Cuckoo, Naomi Scott in Smile 2, and Sophie Thatcher in Companion. A lot of great performances in there.
They're all good performances.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, you know what I'm picking.
Oh, we have to go like a process of elimination. I don't think Hunter Schafer's going to win this one.
I doubt it. Even though I thought they did great, but
yeah,
I doubt they'd win though.
Either. Willa Fitzgerald was good in her role as well, but I'm looking at these other nominees and I don't think her performance stacks up against some of these other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, Sally Hawkins and Bring Her Back. She was good.
She was on it.
And I also don't know at the time of voting how many people actually saw Bring Her Back, though.
Ooh, that's a great point.
That literally just came to streaming like this week.
When the voting came out, that's true. Yep.
And I don't feel like a lot of people went to go see that one.
Nah, they didn't. You're right. They didn't. Now,
Naomi Scott, a lot of people really loved her performance.
Yeah, because a lot of people really like Smile 2 in general. I was surprised by how much people like that movie.
I'm between Demi Moore, obviously Michael B. Jordan, who is surprisingly the only man in this group.
Yes, interesting, ain't it?
And Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu. I mean, the movie wasn't that good to us, but that girl acted her ass off in it.
She did.
Oof, this is a tough category. I'm between those two people, I think. Micah Monroe did her part too. She did good. But I think, again, based on what we've already discussed, I would go with Demi Moore and Michael B. Jordan for my top two picks.
Same.
Who I would want to win.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Michael B. Jordan. But I think they might go with Demi Moore in particular case as a prediction.
Yeah, she did win.
Now, in this case, I would think The Substance might win over The Sinners. For best.
Yeah, she did win the Golden Globe. And I know people really liked that movie and they liked her performance. I would probably pick Michael B. Jordan just from the sheer fact that he's playing two characters. And he played them well enough to where like you knew who was who. And you understood their dynamic, who they were. They're two separate people, and I feel like he did a great job. And I think it takes a lot to be able to play two different characters in the same movie. I think that's a challenge, and I think he really killed it in that role. But yeah, for me, it'd be between Michael B. Jordan and Demi Moore. But yeah, everybody else did great. Obviously, Lily Rose Depp. I think Nosferatu is boring as hell, but she did great with her acting. I didn't care for Smile 2, but yeah, Naomi Scott, she did her thing in the movie. Micah Monroe, I feel like it was okay in Long Legs. I don't think it was like,
well, no,
you know what I'm saying?
I think it was good, decent.
Yeah, and then obviously Sally Hawkins to Bring Her Back was really good.
She was
playing the the grieving mother, like she killed that shit. But yeah, I think community wise, it's going to be between Michael B. Jordan and Demi Moore. Like you said, community probably gonna pick Demi Moore, but personally, I would pick Michael B. Jordan. Yep. So next up for performances, we got the best supporting performance category, and the nominees are Nicolas Cage in Long Legs, Miles Catton for Sinners, Ray Fiennes for 28 Years Later, Hugh Grant in Heretic, David Johnson in Alien Romulus, Wumi Musaku in Sinners, Jack O'Connell in Sinners, Margaret Qualley in The Substance, Bill Skarsgård for Nosferatu, and Dan Stevens in Cuckoo. Hey, shout out to Dan Stevens with the Cuckoo nom because I thought he did great in that movie. So I'm actually surprised that he was up there. That's cool that they actually did that.
He did.
But this supporting category is also stacked. Yeah, it is stacked. And three nominees are from Sinners. That's crazy.
Yes, and because of that, I think one of these winners will probably be from Sinners, and I think it's going to be Wumi Musaku.
I could see that.
Mic drop.
Now, do you think there's any chance that Miles could win because he was singing? Now, because his singing was great, his acting was okay, but the musical performance element, you think that would have any impact? Okay.
Not compared to Wumi. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about Hugh Grant? Because he was awesome in Heretic. Do you see anything with that?
No.
Really?
I don't see it.
Okay. All right.
Well, what's your pick? What about Nicolas Cage? I think he might give her a run for her money. A little bit. You don't think so? A lot of people really liked his performance in Long Legs.
Well, okay, yeah. Community-wise, yes, people love Long Legs.
You gotta keep it in the hands of the people now. Come on now.
Because I just can't.
What you think?
I can't see it. But you're right. People really did like him in Long Legs, but I just can't see him beating other people. Like I can't see Nicolas Cage beating Ray Fiennes or Hugh Grant or even David Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
David Johnson was great in Alien Romulus.
Yeah, he was.
But like I said, this is a tough category because also don't forget Bill Skarsgård's Nosferatu. I mean, he had the ugly ass mustache.
Nosferatu was not very good.
But I thought Nosferatu was all right though.
Okay.
And I think people like Margaret in The Substance, right?
I think they did. I don't know. I feel like every time I hear about The Substance, the only people talk about is Zemi, but it's possible. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think no one can beat Wumi.
Yeah, I think my top three is literally right there in the middle: Hugh Grant, David Johnson, or Wumi.
Okay, those three.
Those three, I think, is where the competition is going to be had. And to be honest, I can't really get a full pulse on what the community is going to pick.
Not even okay, because no.
Because I thought Ray Fiennes was dope in 28 Years Later, but he don't have a whole lot of screen time, so I don't know if they'd actually pick him. But like everyone else, the other three, Hugh Grant, David Johnson, and Wumi Musaku, they have a lot of screen time in each of their movies, and they all three kill it. Kill it. Like, I mean, Hugh Grant and Heretic, that movie is basically all dialogue, and it's captivating. You know what I'm saying? In part due to how he delivered on with his character. David Johnson, playing the android and having basically two different versions of the android, the kind of more like, sweet, kind of innocent android to like the corporate mode android. And he delivered on both of those. And then obviously Wumi Musaku, killed it in Sinners with the, her emotional depth with her character in Sinners. So I don't know.
I don't know either. This one's tough.
Yep. That's my three though. That's my three.
Well, my three would be Wumi, Nicolas Cage, because I think a lot of people liked his performance.
Yeah.
And I would like to say David Johnson, but I don't know. Maybe Margaret Qualley might be up there.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past them. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know who was voting on this out of the 1 million, but people love that substance.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised. But that is Best Supporting Performance category. Next up, we got Best Director, y'all. And the nominees are Danny Boyle for 28 Years Later, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Robert Eggers for Nosferatu, Coralie Farge for The Substance, and Osgood Perkins for Long Legs. I feel like
Ryan Coogler.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like typically, not always, but typically Best Director and Best Wide Release, like they match up, right? Or Best Film
sometimes, yeah.
And Best Director, sometimes they match up. And I feel like this might be one of those cases where they do match up just because Sinners was so fire that I definitely think Community's going to pick Ryan Coogler on this one. The next one is Coralie. That's it.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. It's either one of those two.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we gotta add any more to that because this is between them two. That's it. Now here we go for best cinematography, y'all. The nominees are Sinners, and it's Autumn Durald Arkapaw. Long Legs, which is Andre Arochi. Nosferatu, cinematographer Jaron Blaschke. I'm probably tearing these names up. I apologize,
you
y'all. Yep. The Substance, Benjamin Kraken or Kraken. 28 years later, Anthony Dodd Mansell.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to win for best cinematography?
Then this is also a tough one. I like the cinematography in the top 4 of these.
Yeah.
The Substance cinematography, I think I talked about this in our review. I actually really love the cinematography in that movie. I love a lot of the shots in that movie. And the way everything looks, and some particular scenes that stand out because of the cinematography. Nosferatu, hands down, the best thing about that movie is the cinematography.
It looks good. The movie is boring as hell, but damn if it don't look beautiful.
Baby. I think we need to rewatch that movie.
I don't want to, though.
It was really well shot.
It was.
Man, there were some really amazing.
Gorgeous. This is gorgeous shots. Some of those like super contrasty, shadowy shots.
Yeah.
And the winter, and then obviously like some of the softer interiors. Like I thought, it was a gorgeous movie.
Super, super well done. Long Legs. I like the cinematography in this movie too. I love the way this one looks. This movie looks amazing. And then obviously Sinners. And just the fact that, Autumn is iconic by being the first woman to film on IMAX cameras. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
But yeah, this is also very hard. I don't put 28 years later in this because compared to the other films in this category, I don't think it hits the level.
It ain't batting on their level.
I'm between Nosferatu and Sinners in this particular case. Obviously, I would want Sinners to win because I want Sinners to win all the awards that they are nominated for. But I really love the way Nosferatu looks. Like I recently watched another movie, The Voyage, which is like I think it's French. I can't remember, but that reminds me. I know that I really like that aesthetic, and Nosferatu's aesthetic. I really love that. Like I love those period pieces. I like that heavy, fantastical look of things. So I really love the cinematography in this. Obviously, I really love Sinners as well. I don't know. I think it's really, really well done though. Nosferatu, I think it might be my pick in this particular case.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely between Sinners and Nosferatu. I lean more towards Sinners, even from the community standpoint. Because shot on it had a lot of scenes shot on IMAX cameras. It was also shot on film. They came out with all these different iterations of that film. It's a gorgeous movie across the board. But Nosferatu is also gorgeous. I don't know if Nosferatu was shot on film or not. I don't think it was. But I don't know that for sure. I could be wrong. But it is still a beautiful film. As much as I dislike the movie, I can't deny how incredibly good it looks. And I know I said that in our review that this movie looks amazing. Those shots, you could probably pause the movie and print that shit out and frame it, and every shot would look really good, like as a poster. You know what I'm saying? It looks that good. It's definitely an art to it with Nosferatu, but I think Sinners did a lot of special things.
I agree with that.
And they have, Sinners too has a lot of that. I don't think Nosferatu has this as much. Sinners has a lot of beautiful wide shots too. I don't think there's as many wide shots in Nosferatu. There's some like really IMAX super wide shots that happen in Sinners too that just look incredible.
I give you that. For sure.
So even community wise, I'm leaning towards.
I think it won't be Sinners.
Autumn Arkapaw winning for Sinners. Yep. Now next up,
best score.
We already know who's going to win this, but I'm gonna read the nominees. But if this person doesn't win, something's wrong with the community. I'm just keeping it 100% real. So best score, the nominees are Nosferatu, composed by Robin Corlin, Sinners, composed by Ludwig Göransson. The Substance, composed by Rafferty. Sorry if I got that wrong. 28 Years Later, composed by Young Fathers, and Long Legs, composed by, is it Zilgi or Zilgi? Sinners.
Ludwig,
Ludwig went crazy.
Yeah, he
and
did.
I think what was so important with Sinners too, right, is how integral the score is into the actual story and emotion of the film. Some of the songs were already done before they started filming, and they're playing that shit on the set. That's how much a part of the film the score is. It was not an afterthought in any capacity. In fact, it's part of the story. So I mean, even that alone, I feel like gives it this extra edge over everything else. But in general, not only does it complement everything in the film, but you can just listen to that shit on its own and just admire.
Well, I think that's the key in this particular case, because I like some of the score for Nosferatu as well. I think it also fits the movie very well. It's very haunting, but it's not something you can just throw on. You know, it ain't no like, oh yeah, turn on that Nosferatu. You know what I'm saying?
No. But yeah, no, you're right. Nosferatu did have some haunting score that sounded good, that fit the movie. But man, Sinners just did something special. The whole score, and then not even just that, but check this out. The dude's got a score, like got the score soundtrack, but he's also got the song soundtrack where there's actual songs from the fucking composed, orchestrated songs from the movie. So it's just like Ludwig he was on a different level with this movie. I mean, we were already big fans,
of course, yes,
of him already.
Yeah.
So when we saw that he was doing the music for Sinners, we was hyped as fuck. But he went crazy on this. So I would be shocked. Like you said, you talking about an award? Like if there's one award that like I would literally like be so shocked didn't win, it'd be Sinners. Like I would literally be so shocked if Ludwig didn't win for Sinners. All right, y'all. So we got the last few categories coming up. That's the final column on the voting ballot. Next category we have is Best Screenplay. And the nominees are Heretic, written by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. Sinners, written by Ryan Coogler. The Substance, written by Corley Ferget. Bring Her Back, written by Bill Hinsman and Danny Philippou. And Strange Darling, written by J.T. Molnar. What you got for this, babe?
This is tough too. I really like the screenplay for a lot of these. All of these.
Hey, screenplays for Heretic is fucking hidden. Let's just keep it real.
No, it was good. Obviously, babe, I don't think people love Heretic as much as you love Heretic.
I mean, I don't like the ending, but the rest of the movie is really good, though.
Yeah. Strange Darling also has a really good screenplay. I also like the way that it is broken up. J.T. Molnar is a really good writer. He has written a lot of screenplays. He just over the past, couple years, but his screenplays are really good. I do like his screenplay for Strange Darling. Bring Her Back.
Hey,
the bomb.
Incredible screenplay.
Love that freaking.
You talking about raw emotion, man? Like, and the dynamics in that movie. Hey, the Philippous
storytelling is good.
His storytelling is incredible. Yep, incredible.
The Substance. How I personally feel about this movie, but. I gotta give credit where it's credit. Where it's
due. That's true.
Yeah, I think it's a good screenplay as well, and it's original, which is also I think a key in this particular category, like an original story. And that's why this is also kind of hard because I feel like all of these are original stories. Sinners, hands down, great screenplay.
Yes.
So I don't know. This is a really hard one.
I'm going to go between Sinners and The Substance just based off of the other potential wins from the other categories. I feel like, again, sometimes these categories like tend to line up. Obviously not always, but sometimes they do.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, just like you mentioned before, by the time the voting was complete for this, not a lot of people have seen Bring Her Back. And I wasn't aware that people wasn't feeling Heretic like that. So I guess I'm just going to take that off then. So I really just feel like it goes back to I really feel like it just goes back to Sinners and The Substance being being the best of the lot here. So yeah, that's what we're gonna go with for that.
All right, sounds good.
So the next category we got is best makeup effects, and the nominees are Felix Fox, Harlow McFarlane, and Werner Pretorius for Longlegs, Christian Tinsley for Terrifier 3, John Nolan for 28 Years Later, Pierre Olivier Person and Stephanie Guillen for The Substance, and David White and Tracy Loader for Nosferatu. Now, this is one of those categories I feel like kind of gets interesting because I feel like when it comes to like the makeup effects, you can kind of go a couple different ways from like you know, like how certain makeup is presented in terms of like the Nosferatu, like where a character is completely lost within the makeup. But then you have the special effects area, like Terrifier, where like it's the ultra gore and the craziness of it that looks really good. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting. I think naturally I'm going to lean towards Terrifier 3. I think because that's what the movie's known for is the effects, is the practical effects. It's all practical. So I feel like people love that shit. I like it too. I thought those sequences and the effects in Terrifier 3 were top notch. Like they were all just hitting. But I don't know what you think.
I might would go with The Substance on this one.
True. That's actually a good point.
I actually but watched The Fly because I think I might have watched it when I was a little kid, but I don't remember anything from that movie. I watched The Fly, and man, that was some nasty you know what I'm saying? Like, but I really like the practicalness of that movie, and The Substance really reminds me of The Fly.
True.
In a lot of cases, like even down to like, you know, his nasty fingernails coming off and stuff like that. But like, I think The Substance kind of gets the closest to like that stuff we love about those old movies, right? Like that authenticity behind what you're seeing. And I think The Substance's FX, their makeup, all that stuff kind of like hits closest to that. We appreciate those things a little bit more. So for that reason, I would go with The Substance. I think also a lot of people really liked the ending display.
It is crazy. Yeah.
One, you know what I'm saying? Even we really appreciated the ending display of that one.
We did.
Even leading up to that, all of the different things that happened, like that make you go.
It was nasty.
Yeah. It was pretty good. So I think I would vote for The Substance. Nosferatu had a good ending scene as well. Without giving stuff away, I thought that looked really good. They also had some other stuff with, in the middle of the movie too. But I think The Substance for me would win this category.
Yeah, I think for the community, for me, it's going to be between Terrifier 3 or The Substance. Terrifier 3 just because the practical gore is just like fucking crazy shit.
Yeah,
but
it is.
There was a lot of great practical stuff in The Substance too. But I feel like it can go either way. So I'm going to leave it at those two.
Okay.
For me. All right, next up, we got Best Costume Design. And the nominees are Ruth E. Carter for Sinners, Marianne Chio, I might be getting that wrong, sorry, for Maxine, Linda Muir for Nosferatu, Manon Rasmussen for The Ugly Stepsister, and Emmanuel Yoshinovsky for The Substance.
That was really good, babe. That sounded like they might have been right. That was good.
I think it might have been. I might have hit it. I might have got that one right.
Got that one. Oh, for me, this one. Also another tough one, I think. I love the as my friend Sheree says, the beautiful gowns in Nosferatu were actually beautiful. Because sometimes when you say it's like a sarcasm, it had beautiful gowns. That like the movie wasn't good, but
that's what it all was. Yeah.
But yes, Nosferatu had great costume design, definitely on target for the period, and that's my issue with Maxine. I think the costumes were fine, but to me, they didn't scream this movie is matching up across the board with its setting, with its aesthetic, with its vibe. There were some cases where it almost felt like they were just dressing up. I don't know. That was just me. I didn't really like that. Like the costume design in that movie. Ugly Stepsister. I mean, I feel like that was kind of like the same situation with Nosferatu, you know? So like that was good too.
Yeah.
I feel like the costume design was good in Substance as well.
Yeah.
But
like
nothing
fashion,
about
out of
it.
like high
Yeah.
fashion stuff too.
But nothing about any of those movies to me touches what Ruth E. Carter did with Sinners. She is an award-winning costume designer. I don't know about these other people. Maybe they are as well, but I know Ruth Carter is and has been for many, many years. She's a great costume designer. And I think her designs were really, really good in Sinners.
They were.
Like everything was there was care taken in every item that we saw. And I feel like the costume design, like you were talking about, the score was also an integral part of the movie. Like it was a very important thread that stood out with the storytelling. So
it matched everything perfectly, like the the characters, their
right,
like the Deep South, like their economic status, like it fit the time period perfectly, and it really made it feel real.
Yes. And then we can't talk about Sinners without talking about that scene where costume design and music played a part, but the costume design even more so, I think, because we got to see all these different ancestors, these
cultures,
different generations, different cultures on display, and the design was like the biggest part of that, of the, their outfits and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So I think Sinners should win that category.
I agree. I think Sinners will win. I'll be surprised if it didn't win. I feel like maybe the Nosferatu, the Ugly Stepsister.
Oh yeah,
could be picked. But I think Sinners is definitely gonna win this one for sure. All right, next up we got Best Creature Effects. So we got Paul McDonnell for Oddity, Jeremy Selenfren and Studio Gillis for Smile 2, Pierre Olivier Person for The Substance, Studio Gillis for Werewolves. That's a 3 actually coming up. And Legacy Effects, Studio Gillis, and Weta Workshop for Alien Romulus. So it's got 3 nominations where Studio Gillis was a part of the creature effects. I think these are some great nominees. I think for me, I'm going Alien Romulus on this for creature effects because a lot of the shit they did was practical and it looked really, really good. Again, Substance has some great practical effects too throughout the film, especially crescendoing to that conclusion.
Werewolves were also practical.
Werewolves. Yeah, all the werewolves were practical, and I thought they looked really good. Oddity, I think that little wooden thing was creepy as hell.
He was.
Smile 2, that moment where the conclusion. I mean, it did look really crazy, but I feel like from a total package, what's that?
Practical was going to win out for you.
Oh yeah, I think the practical. Best creature effects is all about the practical, in my opinion. I think when you look at the behind the scenes for Alien Romulus and what they were able to accomplish practical wise, like it is insane to see. Like it's shit that you wouldn't have even thought was practical, and that shit was full practical. That's how good it looked. So my vote is going to be Alien Romulus. What you think, bro?
I have to get the same one. I did see some of that behind the scenes footage, but I'm also wondering how many other people saw that. So my people vote would be The Substance, but my personal vote would be Alien Romulus.
I could see that. I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. I would not be surprised if Substance wins on that too. But I'm hoping Alien Romulus wins on that. Our next category we got, y'all, is Best Video Game. And the nominees are Death Stranding 2, Mouthwashing, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Slitterhead, and Sorry We're Closed. Now I know Mouthwashing was very popular on the indie scene. A lot of people like the game a lot. And then from like the major releases, Silent Hill 2 Remake was actually well received. People really like that remake a lot. Sometimes the remakes don't always hit, but people really thought Bloober Team did really good with that remake. Death Stranding 2, I think it critically, I think it did really well. I know that a lot of people, just like myself, this is not a game I'm interested in because of the gameplay mechanics. It's like I ain't trying to do a walking simulator. I'm just not interested in that shit. But I know it's Hideo Kojima and people love his stories. He always has compelling stories and characters. And he has, the game is like a movie when you have the cinematic scenes. So in my opinion, it's probably going to be between those top three. I'm not familiar with Sorry We're Closed, and I think Slitterhead, I don't think it would made any waves. I think it looked really cool. And it was the mechanics was interesting, but I don't think it's making waves like the top three. So it's either going to be mouthwashing because it's an indie game that was very popular, or they're going to go with like a big release like Death Stranding 2 or Silent Hill 2 remake. I hope Silent Hill 2 remake wins, because to me that's more of the real horror game. I don't think Death Stranding 2 is like a full horror game. They might have moments, but it ain't like Silent Hill 2 where this is definitive horror game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that they win. But I know you're not familiar with all the games here, but do you have anything you want to add to it?
Well, if we're going off of, what people in the streets have said, I'm thinking between mouthwashing and Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all. And then our last category.
We've not seen anything in this category.
We haven't, but it's an interesting category that this is even a thing now. But the category is Best Public Domain Resurrection. And the nominees are Popeye's Revenge, The Mousetrap, Popeye the Slayer Man, Screamboat, Shiver Me Timbers, and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. We haven't seen any of them, but I think it's hilarious.
Mike for this, and then like, hey, Mike, which one would you vote for in this category?
Mike, he's big on these public domain movies.
I don't know.
So I don't even know which one's best or not.
No, y'all let us know, because I can't contribute anything to this one.
Is Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare for the same people who did like the Blood and Honey movies?
I don't even.
If it is, I might choose that because I like Blood and Honey too. So if it's hitting on that level, I might pick that. I think the Screamboat trailer that I saw, like it looked a little too goofy, like the mouse costume. I haven't seen anything else in the other films though. Oh, yeah, it was Screamboat. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's all we got for that one, y'all, because we haven't seen any of those movies. But that's it, y'all. That is all of the categories at the Chainsaw Awards for 2025. We went through all the categories, all the nominees, and let you know what we think the community will pick, and then what our own personal picks are for these, the stuff that we love. But Bae, as we close it out, here's anything you want to mention or add in regards to the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards 2025?
No, but definitely check it out. We'll put the description in the description a link to the little PDF we use.
Yep.
So y'all can go through it yourselves and then share with us what your picks are as well.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, so hey, y'all, for the 2025 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, it's airing on Sunday, October 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Shudder. I think Shudder does do one of those like 7-day free trials. If you don't have it, sign up for the trial so you can tune in. And then in that next 7 days, watch some horror movies. You might stick around and keep it for the rest of the month. Because they actually, I feel like Shudder is kind of better than it's ever been. They have a lot more content that's actually pretty good on the platform. So definitely tune in. Unfortunately, we won't be doing a watch along for it this year because we'll be at Halloween Horror Nights, y'all. So make sure you are locked in and subscribe to the channel because we're going to do some vlog content for Halloween Horror Nights. Super excited. It's going to be our first time going. So it's going to be an event. And if you see Christy's face, she doesn't look too excited about it because she's scared and she's nervous.
I'm not.
Yep. But it's going to be super dope, y'all. It's going to be a great time. So make sure you're subscribed and tuned in and locked in for that. Check out our other reviews while you're here on the YouTube channel or the podcast channels. We got plenty of reviews for you to check out. We have more coming because guess what, y'all? This weekend, Black Phone 2 is releasing. Now check it out. Christy already put up a spoiler-free review for Black Phone 2 because she saw it at Fantastic Fest. But your boy is finally about to get a chance to watch this film. So I can't wait to see what I think about it. And we're going to do a full review on it, spoiler-free and spoiler discussion. So you got to be locked in, y'all, because it's going to be a great conversation. We're going to check out that movie this weekend as well. Mm-hmm. Hey, but look, shout out to our Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank y'all so much for supporting us at that level. We really appreciate that. And if you made it this far in the video, thank y'all for tuning in and hanging out with us and discussing the award show and just showing us love and support, man. We appreciate everybody. We love everybody. But that's it for this one. We'll see you next one because we out. Peace.